ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोर्श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्णचैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd Canto, 10th chapter, beginning from verse number 45. Sukadeva Goswami has explained the manifestation of cosmic person, how the various senses appeared in his body, and what are the presiding deity of the senses and their sense objects. And then he says that this is the form which is maintained by the Lord, and then it is destroyed by Rudra. And this is the gross form of the Lord, but the learned people, they do not worship this form because they worship the superior forms as Krishna alone. Now he says, Nasya karmani janmadau parasya anuvidhiyate kartripya pratishedhartham maya aropitam hitat. He says that the action of Janma, or the creation of this cosmic being, is not to be considered as the creation of the Supreme Lord, who is transcendental to this. It is only by superimposition, by Maya, that he is considered as the Karta, or the doer or agent behind it. And the description is actually to deny Kartripya Pratishedhartham, to deny the agency in him, because he is not directly creating it. The person who is beyond these two types of forms, subtle and gross, which was described here. So in Vedanta they have this process of Adhyarop and Apavad. Especially in Advaita Vedanta, this is a very popular process. If you study the philosophy of Advaita Vedanta, then these two things you have to learn, Adhyarop and Apavad. Because for them everything is false or mithya, and only Lord or Brahman is real. Brahm Satyam Jagat Mithya, Jivo Brahmaiva Napara. So what they do is that when they have to perform sadhana, then how to fix the mind on Brahman? It is not possible to fix the mind on Brahman, because Brahman is beyond any material concept. So they do adhyarop first. They may worship a form, and then they say that in this form, then you invite the Lord. And then when they elevate themselves, then they pratished that he is beyond that. That is called apavad. So this is the process of Advaita Vedanta, and it is very commonly followed. Vaishnavas don't follow like that. For us, the form of Lord is not material, but he is transcendental and he is eternal. So that's why you see that in Bengal, when they have Devi Puja in Navratri, or when they have Ganesh Puja, especially in Maharashtra, then they do it for 1 week, 9 days, 10 days, they invite the Devi, and then they do Visarjan. Then they put the deity in the ocean or in some water. So there is Avahan and then there is Visarjan. So that means the deity is invited and then is sent off. But for us, that is not the process. Here it is being described that we can use this cosmic universe for the beginning people who are very much attached to material things, that they can consider this as the form of the Lord. But then they also have to know that Lord is beyond that. So in that sense he says that there is arop and pratishad, both are mentioned here. Kartritva pratishedhartham maya aropitam hitat. But really speaking, Lord is only glancing at the matter or Maya, and then everything is going because of the Kal, Karma, Jiva, Swabhav. There are transformations. So nothing happens without the presence of the Lord. Yet He is not really involved in it. Just like we have this material body, so the soul is existing in the material body. And soul is the karta, because without soul the body is not going to function. Yet at the same time soul is not doing anything. As Krishna says, Prakritahe kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha ahankar vimudhatma karta hamiti manyate. That everything is happening by the three gunas of Prakriti, and only a bewildered person thinks himself to be the doer. So this is also to deny agency. Yet at the same time it does not mean that soul does not have the agency in it. So in Gita itself it is said that he is the bhokta. So karya karan kartritva hetu prakriti uchyate. But in karya karan kartritva hetu is prakriti, but when it comes to bhokta, then bhokta purusha is the because without that prakriti cannot be the bhokta. So this has to be understood properly, because it is a complicated thing. Most people either take it one way, that he is not the doer as the impersonalists, or they take that he is the doer and then he becomes also like another material person. So that's why he says that Nasya karmani janmadu parasya anubhidhiyate, that here it should be understood that this creation, destruction, maintenance, etc., Lord is not described here as the doer, it is not his karma. Kartritva pratishedhartham maya aropatam. It is arop by maya. Kincha netad bhagavato vastutah karma. So I say that in reality this is not the karma of the Lord. अस्य विश्वस्य जन्मादौ जन्म स्थिति संहारे कर्मणि परस्य परमेश्वरस्य इत्थं भाव कर्तृत्वं भवति किंतु अनुविधीयते श्रुति स्मृत्यादिषु सर्वत्र वर्ण्यते. So he says everywhere in the Shruti, Smriti, because in the Vedas also, in the Puranas, everywhere there is a description that Lord is the creator. He created. In the beginning there was nothing but Him, and then He created. So why is this description being given? Kimartham? Kartritva pratishedhartham. To deny that He is the doer. So this is the Nyaya, Shakha Chandra Nyaya, like showing the moon. So first you may not be able to see, so you point the finger towards the branch of the tree, and then so now behind the tree you can see the moon. So first you see the tree, and then you take your vision away from the tree to the moon. So similarly, first we see the gross manifestation, and then we understand that Lord is not just this. Because in the beginning, this world itself is defined as the Lord. And then he says that the Surya Param Drashtum Arhanti Naitam Bhavana, that they don't accept Lord only as this much. Hiyato Maya Tat Aropitam. So why it is denied? Because this is only a superimposition by Maya. Srishtyadinam Gunakaryatvat. Bahiranga eva kartritva. So all this action is performed by Bahiranga Maya. That's why the scientists are bewildered. They say there is no God. Everything is happening by nature. So they are also not completely wrong. There is a fact. There is also saying everything is evolving. In the beginning there was amoeba, and from amoeba then came cells, and then slowly little fish, then medak, then tortoise. So from Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, all these avatars happened. So that's why they say that there is no God, because they only see that Prakriti is the doer. But he is also saying Srishtyadinam Gunakaryatva. He says all this creation is done by the gunas. In Rajas there is creation, in Sattva there is maintenance, and in Tamas there is annihilation. So everything is happening by guna. Prakritahe kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha. Everything done by the karma, gunas of the Prakriti. And only Vimudhatma thinks that he is the doer. Param Purushe Aropitam iti matkritam api idam mat swamitvat tena parmeshwareneva kritam natu vastutah parmeshwara swaswarupena karta ityartha. So he says this is all superimposed, that he has done it. So he says that although it is done by the Lord, but not by his own Swarupa. Tathacha Shruti, and Shruti speaks both ways. Says that he created, and then he also says Nisphalam, Niskriyam, Shantam, Niravadyam, Niranjanam, that he is Nisphalam, does not attain anything. He is Niskriyam, has no action in him. Shantam, he is very peaceful. Niravadyam, without any defects, and Niranjanam, free from any material designations. No gross body, no subtle body, nothing like that. So Shruti is also saying. So therefore it has to be understood properly. So now he is concluding his talk. Sukadeva says, Ayam tu brahmana kalpa savikalpa udahita vidhi sadharano yatra sarga prakrita vaikrita. So he says that this is the day of Brahma, Kalpa, or lifespan of Brahma, along with the divisions, the various days. And this is the normal description, vidhi sadharana, yatra sargaha prakriti vakriti. So usually the day of Brahma follows one after another, like we have our days. And there are two types of creations in that. There is prakrita creation and vakrita creation. So prakrita creation is in the very beginning, where Mahatattva, etc., all these elements are created. That is Prakriti creation, means creation from the Prakriti. And Vakrita is when the creation happens further from that. So each day of Brahma there is no Prakriti creation, there is only Vakrita. Because the elements are already existing. They are only mixed again and further transformed. Prakaranam Upsangharati concludes the topic which he started around the 10 topics of Bhagavatam. Brahmana Sambandho Kalpa. He says this is the description of Brahma. Samvatsar Satatmako. And this Kalpa lasts for 100 years of Brahma. Brahma lives for 100 years. Brahmana Paramayu Rupa. So that is the Paramayu, or the complete lifespan of Brahma. Vikalpa Avantaro Brahmadin Rupa. And then there is, in between there are days of Brahma which are called Vikalpa. Yatra Maha Kalpe Prakrit Mehadadi Sargaha Avantar Kalpe cha Vakrita. So in the Mahakalpa there is Prakrita creation. Prakriti is made to manifest in the elements. And the Vakrita happens in the each day of Brahma. Avantar Kalpa cha Vakrita. Sthavaradi Sarga. Iti ayam vidhi prakar hai. So this is the way it happens. Anyair Mahakalpadi bhi sadharana evam cha yavan kalpa vikalpa va. So he says that it happens same way. And it happens the previous creation, then it happens next creation. So it says this has answered the question which was asked, Yavan Kalpo Vikalpo Va. That please explain the Kalpa and Vikalpa, what are they and how it happens. So of course the detail will be given later on. Says Parimanam cha kalasya kalpa laksha lakshana vigraham yatha purastad vyakhya se padmam kalpam athoshvam. It says the measurement of time, which was also one of the questions, and this will include kalpa, vikalpa, or manvantar. All these things will be described. It says this is the measurement of time. Measurement of time is the time is there for one Mahakalpa, which is the lifespan of Brahma. And it is divided into kalpas, the days of Brahma. So kalpa lakshana vigraham. There are kalpas in that. And yatha purastad vyakhya. So he says, now I am going to further explain that. Now you hear from me the story of Padma Kalpa. The kalpa in which Brahma was born. Because Padma means lotus. And Brahma is called Padmaja or Padmabhu, who is born from the lotus. So that kalpa is called Padma Kalpa.
In each kalpa there is creation and destruction.
Yes.
In each kalpa. Every day of the year.
So he says, Vistarena tu yatha kalo anumiyate. इत्यस्य प्रश्नस्य उत्तर मध्ये एव तस्य कल्प परिमाणं प्रश्नस्य उत्तरं दास्यमानं प्रतिजानते. So he has asked a question, yatha kalo anumiyate, that how the time is measured. He says the details of that I will give you, and this detail will come when I will explain about the kalpa. So he is informing that. Parimanam kidrisham. What is the span? He says kalpanam lakshanam eva vigraho vapur yasya tat. Kalpadi lakshanam vina kal parimanam nasindhati. So he says first you have to define what is a kalpa, how long is a kalpa, because without defining kalpa you cannot explain the time span. So yatha yathavat, as it is, that I will explain. Purastar means Tritiya Skandha in the third canto. There will be description of time coming there. Padmam kalpam pratham parardhant bhavam. So what is this Padma kalpa? He says this is the last kalpa of the parardha. Brahma's life is divided into two, and each one is called parardha. His lifespan is called para, and half of that becomes parardha. So the last day of parardha is Padma. Kalpa Ganana tu Skanda Prabhas Khandat Gaya, and the description of various kalpas is given in the Prabhas Khanda of Skanda Purana. And he quotes, because Brahma has 30 days. So in 30 days, each day has a specific name. And then the months are repeating. So just like in the lunar calendar, we have 2 fortnights. There is no moon, and then Pratipada, Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturthi, Panchami, like this, Saptami, Ashtami, up to full moon, and then again Pratipada. So Brahma also has like this 30 days in 1 month, and then every month has got those. So as every day has a special name for us, every day has a special name. Pratipada is the first, Dvitiya is the second, Tritiya is the third, Chaturthi, fourth, Panchami, Shashti, Saptami, Ashtami, Navami, Dasmi, Ekadasi is the 11th, Dwadasi, Trayodasi, Chaturthi, and then the 15th is either Purnima, if it is full moon, or Amavasya. So these are the 30 names. So Brahma's days also have 30 names. So now he is going to describe them. So when it is said this is Brahma Kalpa, this is Padma Kalpa, this is this Kalpa, this is the day of one day of Brahma in 1 month. And the story belongs to that particular day.
And each day has its own mantra or
Each day has got 14 manvantaras.
14?
Because each day is 1000 yoga cycles.
Yeah.
So there are 14 manvantaras.
Each for each day, one for each day.
So Prathama Swet Kalpastu Dvitiyo Nila Lohita Vamadevastrityastu Tato Gathantaro Paraha. So the first is called Swet Kalpa. That is the first. Second is called Nila Lohita. Swet means white, Nila Lohit means blue and reddish. Third is Vamadeva, and fourth is called Gatha, Gathantara. Raurava Panchama Prokta Shashtha Prana iti samhita. Fifth is Raurava, sixth is called Prana. Saptamo atha Brihat Kalpa Kandarpa Ashtamuchyate. Seventh is called Brihat, and eighth is Kandarpa. This is the name of Cupid. Savyo atha Navama Prokta Ishano Dasmaskrita. 9th is Savya, 10th is Ishana. Dhyana Ekadasha Proktas Tatha Sarasvatopari. Then 11th is Dhyana Ekadasha. And 12th is Saraswat. Trayodasha Udanastu Garudo Atha Chaturdasha. 13th is Udana. 14th is Garuda. Karma Panchadaso Geya Paunamasi Prajapati. And the 15th is called Kaurma, which is the Purnima, full moon of Brahma. Shodaso Narasinghastu. 16th is Narasingha. Samadhistu Tatopara. 17th is Samadhi. Agneyo Vishnu Jo Vansa Som Vansas Tatopara. Then there is Agneya. And 19th is Som Vansa. 16, 17, 18. Dvavinsho Bhavana Prokta Supamaniti Chapara. Then there is Bhavana and Supaman. Vakunthascha Archisas Tadvat Valli Kalpas Tatopare. And there is Vakuntha, Archisa and Valli. And Saptavinshoth Vairajo Gauri Kalpas Tatha. Then 27th is Vairaj and 28th is Gauri. Maheshwaras Tatha Proktas Tripuro Yatra Ghatiti. And then 29th is Maheshwar Kalpa, in which Tripura was killed. Pitri Kalpas Tathante Cha Yakur Brahmanasmata. And then the last one is called Pitri Kalpa, and this is the Amavasya of Brahma. Trimshat Kalpaha Samakhyata Brahmano Divsahi Sada Atitascha Bhavishyascha Varaho Vartate. So he says these are the 30 days of Brahma, and they always have these names, and whether they are past or future, they will have this name. It says at present his day is called Varaha Kalpa. This is the Svet Varaha Kalpa which was mentioned. So in India, when they perform any sacrifice, before doing sacrifice or puja, you have to take a sankalpa. They tie this thread, you might have seen, and then they give water in the hand, and you have to make a sankalpa, and then this is recited. Svetvaraha kalpe Bharatvarse Jambudvipe Reva Khande. That on they have to give adjective that in Svetvaraha kalpa, in Bharatvarsa, in Jambudvip, Jambudvipe Bharatvarse, and then if you are in Vrindavana, Reva Khande, then you say Vrindavane, and then on this particular date, this samvatsar, this year, this muhurta, I am performing this puja for this purpose. So that is called sankalpa. So all the time, therefore it is not a concoction. Many times people say this is a concoction because this is traditionally coming.
श्वेतवराकल्पे वैवस्वतमन्वन्तरे कलियुगे प्रथमपादे जम्बूद्वीपे भरतवर्षे भारतखण्डे मेरु दक्षिणपार्श्वे अस्मिन् वर्तमाने व्यवहारे प्रभावादि षष्ठी संस्थानं.
Then you have to give your name and your gotra. Sarmaham iti karishaye. I so and so with this gotra on this time, this place, and the whole description. Then you say that now I am performing this puja for the pleasure of Krishna or whatever purpose. So that is called sankalpa. That's why that thread is tied, means now you are tied with the sankalpa. That's why Bali Maharaj, he has taken the sankalpa. And when you take that sankalpa, you have to follow rule, not telling lies. So he gave the sankalpa also to Bali, and he was in the sacrifice. So there was no question of Bali Maharaj now doing anything else. Or when Indra was stealing the horse of Prithu Maharaj, then Prithu could not fight with him, because Prithu has taken sankalpa for the sacrifice. He was doing the sacrifice. So his son, he was chasing Indra, not Prithu. Because once you take sankalpa, then you cannot fight or you cannot There are many restrictions which has to be followed till the act is completed. You become bound by it. So this is very interesting, that such detailed description of time you will not find anywhere in any religious literature of the world. Only in Vedic literature such details are given. And then the names of the Manvantaras, how many Manvantaras and which Manvantara, which avatar comes and what activities are performed. So when you read Mahabharata or you read Bhagavatam, these are not always stories from one kalpa. They could be from another kalpa. Like Bhagavatam is supposed to be belonging to Saraswat kalpa. But now we are living in Svetvaraha kalpa.
So this Varakalpa, in the which day of Brahma is this?
This is the first day of second.
First or second?
Now this is the first day of 51st year of Brahma.
51st.
Brahma is 50 years old, and this is the first day going on of his 51st year. And out of that, this is the 27th Chaturyugi. Out of 71, there are 70. So it is like close to noon time, because 71 half will be 35. So it is maybe like 11 o'clock for Brahma.
11 morning?
11 a.m.
Yes. Oh, he's going to eat something very soon.
So Pratipad Brahmana Prokta Dvitiyardhasya Sampratam. He is saying that this is the Pratipada of Brahma of his second half of his life. Pratipada means the first day which comes after Amavasya. Iti Tatra Sveta Svetvaraha Saeva Varaha. So because the first day was called Svet Kalpa, and now he said that this day is called Varaha Kalpa. So what is the thing? So he says this Svet refers to Svet Varaha, and sometimes Svet Varaha is also called Varaha Kalpa, because in this Kalpa Lord appeared as white boar. Varaha means the Varaha avatar, and sometimes he comes in reddish color, and sometimes in white color. So like in the West you have white pigs.
Yeah. Clean pig. They're clean too.
And they are clean.
Yeah.
So this is the Svet Varaha.
They call them the white clean pig.
Ayameva Brahmana Utpatti Samaya Brahmya Uchyate. So when Brahma is born, then that kalpa is called Brahma Kalpa. Although it should be called as Sweta Kalpa, because first day of Brahma, when he is born, that is also his first day of his first month, and that will be called Sweta, so that is also called Brahma Kalpa. So somewhere you will read that this happened in Brahma Kalpa, and somewhere you will read Padma Kalpa. So this Padma Kalpa is the एवं पितृकल्प एव प्रथम परार्धान्ते पद्म निर्मित लोकत्वात् padma uchyate. So Pitrikalpa, which was the last day of his 50th year, that is called Pitrikalpa, that is also called Padmakalpa. Because he said, now I am going to tell you about Padmakalpa. So here in this list Padmakalpa did not come, so he is explaining this Padmakalpa is nothing but the Pitrikalpa. Because he says, Padmam Kalpa Mathoshanu. Now hear from me the story of the Padmakalpa. Padma Nirmit Lokatvat. Because in this kalpa, the planetary system was created from the Padma. So therefore it is called Padma Kalpa.
And before that, there was not such a creation.
No. For that, so he was water, seeing the water. Saunaka Vacha. Now the Saunak is coming into picture. Saunaka. Because there was dialogue going on between Parikshit and Sukadev. Till now we are hearing that. Originally it was Saunaka and Sut. So he says Saunaka Vacha. Yadaha no bhavan sutta kshatta bhagavatottama chachara tirthani bhuvastatva bandhuna sudustajan kutra koshara vestasya samvadodhyatma sansutah yadvayasa bhagavan tasmai prishtastatvam vachaha bruhinastadidam somme vidurasya vicheshtitam bandhu tyaganittam cha tathaivagatvan punaha. So looks like when Saunak heard all this, he says, okay, enough, let's hear a little different thing. He says, please, you earlier said that Vidura has left his house and went on a pilgrimage. Yadahano Bhavan Suta Kshatta Bhagavatottama. He says the great devotee Vidura, he went on pilgrimage after giving up his relatives, which are very difficult to give up. Giving up relatives used to be very difficult in the olden days, not these days. These days, no problem giving up relatives, they are ready to give up. Children are just waiting when they will be 18, they can go away. And parents are also waiting when they will be 18 and get out of my house. So this is the modern situation. We have to change this now. That instead of su dustyajan, we have to say su sustyajan, which are very easy to give up. Now it will be difficult for people to understand why they are saying that it is difficult to give up relatives. People are always traveling here and there, giving up their relatives, right? What is the big deal about it? People are even ready to go in the space and travel. But in the olden days, it was very difficult to give up one's relative and even go on pilgrimage. When people went on pilgrimage, it was not sure that the person will come back alive. It's quite well that he may be dead on the way, because you have to walk through the forest and some tiger, elephant, if nothing else, snake, if not a thorn, and then you may get tetanus in your feet because they are walking barefoot. And in those days they will not even recognize what is tetanus. So they will just die. And people used to die. So when people went on pilgrimage for a long distance, then they used to have a farewell and crying because it was not sure. And if somebody came back from a pilgrimage, like if somebody really now, so many thousands of people are going to Badrinath now. But in olden days it was not like that. Some rare person went to Badrinath, and if he came back from Badrinath for the rest of his life, he is going to tell stories how he went to Badrinath. And he will have many stories to tell. Now if you go to Badrinath, what is the story you have to tell? You take a taxi, you go up, stay in a dharamsala, have darshan, come back. So walking it will take months and months, and if you survive in that cold, there are no dharamsalas there, just one temple. So then you have a lot to tell, and then people will gather around you every evening. So you become an important person. This used to happen, even now it happens that the Muslims from India, they go to Hajj in Mecca. So this is considered as the greatest pilgrimage for Muslims. So they used to walk Now of course there are flights, special flights, and there is a special airport for them, just for the Hajj pilgrims, and they are even given free flights. You can imagine the facility. But previously they went, and if they came back, they were treated just like God. They used to get a special name. Anybody who went to Hajj, then he was called as Hajiji. Hajiji means like he had just come from Prophet Muhammad now. And if he has seen Muhammad and is blessed, because how many people could go there from here all the way to Iraq? Where is this in Iraq? Walking through Pakistan, Afghanistan, all this. Of course, Pakistan was still part of India. But it was not an easy thing. And when you come back from there,
Today you will be shot. Mecca?
it's not in Iraq.
I think it's in
Saudi Arabia.
in Saudi.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Iraq is the same.
It's very close. Saudi Arabia.
Okay. Then it is even more difficult. Even more difficult. So, therefore, it was very difficult. People have to really decide, because they are not sure whether they will come back and see their family again. And family attachment was the greatest attachment in the olden days. So, even Vyasdev was having that attachment. He was also calling for his son. Putra putra iti tanmaya tarvo vinedu. So he says, how is this that Vidura, he was able to give up and go? And he gave up his house, which was visited by Krishna. Right? So to give up house which is visited by Krishna, then there has to be some special reason for that. People will make like a museum out of that if Krishna has visited the house. So it become a place of worship, temple. And Kutra Kaushara Vestasya Samvado Adhyatma Sanskrita. Where did he have a dialogue with Kausharava, that is Maitreya Muni, and it was related to spirituality. Yadvaisa Bhagavans Tasmai Twishta Tattvam Vacha. Says, where did they meet together? Where Maitreya was asked questions by Vidura and he answered them. So this is very interesting dialogue between Maitreya and Vidura. Bruhi nastadidam saumya vidurasya vicheshtitam. Please explain to me all the activities of Vidura. Bandhu tyag nimittam cha tathaiva agatvam to me. What was the cause that he gave up his relatives? Because also Vidura was not Brahmana that he could have taken sannyas. Because sannyas is allowed only for Brahmana, he was a Shudra. So why did he give up? And then he also came back. So why did he come back? Tathaiva agatvam to me. This is the question asked. Tadevam prastutamapi padmakalpakathanam kathantar shravanotkanthaya sthigiti kritya pritchati yadaha. So it is not that he does not want to hear this story of Padmakalpa, but he was very eager to hear some other stories of devotees. So he says, you can tell me all this Padmakalpa, but also please tell something like this. I heard about this. We've been hearing all this time, so many times about this gross form. Right from the second chapter, he had started Sukadev, or maybe even in the first chapter. In the first chapter he started Patalamita hi padamulam pathanti pasmi prapanti. So from there again and again he is talking about this universal form, cosmic form. So it tells something about Krishna's devotees. So he was very much eager to hear some other story. So it's like he is putting a break. Vidura's Tirth Yatrayam Maitreyādatmano Gatim. Since you have said that Vidura went on Tirth Yatra and he met Maitreya. And Bhavan Avochat, you said, so please you tell me that. Bhagavan Sarvagyaha, and he is referring to Maitreya as Bhagavan because Maitreya is very learned. And Shatta means Vidura, Kausharave, Maitreya. Kaushara means Maitreya. So when Shaunaka asked this question, then he spoke. Suta Uvacha Ragya Parikshita Prishto Yadavochan Mahamunihi Tadvo Avidhasya Shrunuta Ragya Prasnanusarataha. So he says, I will answer your question, what you have asked, but I will also answer it the way the Parikshit has asked question to Sukadeva Goswami. Ragya Parikshitaha Prishto Yadavochan Mahamuni. He says, Mahamuni the great says Sukadeva Goswami was questioned by the king Parikshit, and what he said, you please hear. Ragya Prasnanusartha. The way he had answered, you hear from me that. Iti Srimad Bhagavate Mahapurane Dvitiya Skandhe Ashtadasya Shriyam Samhitayam Purush Sansthanam Varnanam Nam Dasman. So this is the end of 10th chapter and also the end of this second canto. Raja Prishta iti ayam artha yad yuyam prichta ideve me Raja api shukam prishtvan. It says, the thing is that what you are asking me, the same was also asked by King Parikshit to Sukdev. Shuko api vidur Maitreya samvadam puruskritya ye purvam ragyah krita prasnas tadanusarene sarvam avochat tadeva uvavidhasya. And while answering the questions of King Parikshit, Sukadeva Goswami referred to the dialogue between Maitreya and Vidura. So since you are asking, I will also do that. That I will just repeat, because you want to know why he left his house, and you have also asked other questions. And in the meantime, the questions were also referred by Parikshit to Suk, because we read whole chapter where Parikshit raised some 37 questions to Sukdev in the 8th chapter. So he says to answer those questions, he also referred to the story of meeting between Maitreya and Vidura. So don't worry, I will do that. Iti sarartha darshinyam harshinyam bhakta chetasam Dviti Dasmodhyaya Sangatah Sangatah Satam. So this is the end of 10th chapter, 2nd canto, commentary called Sarartha Darshini, which gives pleasure to the heart of the devotees. Brahmanascha Trinasya Pi Chesta Prati Svakiyataha Saiva Bhagavan Vishwam Dhinvastriyat Kripamritam. He says that whether the activity of Brahma or activity of a blade of grass, it is all the Supreme Lord. He is the one who is performing. So that Lord, may He shower His mercy on us. Kripamritam Vishtiyat. And this is the end of his commentary. This Sri Mahamahopadhyaya Srimad Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Kripayam Sarartha Darshanyam Tikayam Dvitiya Skandham Samapta. So this canto has 10 chapters, and it began with the questions. Basically, the question was asked in the last chapter of first canto by King Parikshit to Sukadeva Goswami, that what actually is the duty of the person who is about to die. Ata prichhami samsiddhim yoginam paramam gurum purusasya heyat karam mriyamanasya sarvata. So, in response to this question, Sukadeva started speaking in the first, and he, in the first 3 chapters, he actually spoke the importance of devotion. Right in the very beginning, he told that Tasmat Bharat Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Srotavya Kirtitavyascha Smartavyascha Ichitavyam, that therefore by everyone Lord Hari, who is the Supreme Person, Controller, Super Soul, one should hear about him, glorify him, remember him. So his instruction right in the 4th chapter. So there are so many things to be heard and talked about, but this is what we listen to. This is his prescription. And then the rest is just an expansion of that. So he starts talking about the cosmic form, and then how a yogi has to meditate, and then again and again he brings it to bhakti. And then in the 3rd chapter he talks about various types of worships to fulfill different desires, but he says whatever may be the case, akame sarvakamo va moksha kamo dharadhi tivrena bhakti yogena yogita poshan param, one should worship only Supreme Person Krishna. Then Shonaka, he asked question that please tell me what else he asked, because he first only asked one question, and then that was answered, that person who is about to die or not die, everybody should hear only about Krishna. So then Suta, he started speaking, that he asked further questions, and the question was about creation, that how Lord creates, how he performs the different activities, and how he closes it. So then Sukadeva Goswami starts answering, and he goes on describing in this 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th chapters. He refers to the dialogue between Brahma and Narada, and in between he again talks about the creation, dravya karmascha kalascha sabhava jiva evacha, how everything is made of that, and similar type of description which we read in the 10th. And then he talks about the avatars. In 7th chapter he lists all the avatars. And then 8th chapter was all questions raised by Parikshit. He asks about 37 questions. And in the 9th one, Sukadeva Goswami, he talks about Brahma again, and how Brahma, he meditated and Lord was pleased with him, and Lord showed him his own abode, the devotees, then he shook hand with him, talked and asked him any boon, and then Brahma said, please bless me that I don't become covered by your Maya, and also tell me about your form and your Maya and creation. And Lord speaks the Chatusloki Bhagavatam. So that was the 9th. And then in the 10th one, of course in between Narada came, and Narada also got this knowledge from Brahma. And he asked some questions to Brahma. So in response he talked about the 10 topics of Bhagavatam and explain the Sarga especially in detail how it happens. And then now he says that he will talk about this Kalpa Vikalpa, Padma Kalpa. But Sutta Goswami in between was asked by Shonaka to talk about Vidura meeting Maitreya. So he's going to start talking that in third canto. So this is how second canto ends.
You mentioned that Maitreya has another name.
Shatta.
Yeah, what is this?
What is this? It's something else. I don't know why we have this name. Really speaking, I don't know. I have to check some description, but many times it's called Shatta.
What are the functions of the first and second canto of the Bhagavatam in the whole work of Bhagavatam? as the descriptions also of the topics are going on from the third canto. This first and second canto is only like kind of introduction into the
In the
Bhagavatam.
introduction, it also talks about the qualification of the hearer or the student, and the qualification of the teacher, and it also gives the brief introduction to the book, because what creation will be described has been also hinted here, and bhakti and pastimes of Krishna, some in the avatars which will be detailed later on. So they all have been already mentioned. So in that it gives like a preview forward in the book.
Bhagavatam was first spoken by Parikshit Maharaj asking questions of Sukadeva Goswami. Now we're hearing it from the questions of Sutta to, now I'm confused, Shaunaka to Sutta Goswami. Does this mean that the flow of sequential topics is different in the two? Because the answers are given from the first speaking, but in response to the questions as the questions come.
So which flow you are talking about? Flow between Sutta and Sonaka, or flow between Parikshit and Shuka?
Yeah, the second floor. Is the sequential flow the same as in the first floor?
Yes.
It is, even though it's different person, different questions. Another question I have is that I remember years back reading in Bhagavatam that the material energy appears to be real because it is based upon the ultimate reality, Krishna. Right? So how do we see that in terms of what you've just spoken of Krishna being and not being the doer at the same time? Because, Maya is created and that's what I read, that's what I understand. Maybe I'm wrong, it's some years back, but it appears to be real because it's based upon the ultimate reality. But if Krishna is not the ultimate direct creator, how does that ultimate reality come into the mind? The appearance of ultimate reality come into mind. Does this make sense?
Well, he is also not denying it completely.
Okay.
Already even in Chatusloki he says, Ahameva asameva agre nanyat sad asat param. That there was nothing before. Before means the creation. So that means he is the ultimate source of it.
Okay.
Only thing what he is saying is that when creation is done, then Krishna per se is not doing it himself. But he has his agents working under him. So in that sense he is the doer, at the same time he is not the doer. Like somebody owns a factory, and suppose factory is manufacturing cars, and there are people working on the assembly line. So now the person who owns the factory, he will say that I manufacture cars, right? Somebody will say that what do you do? He says, well, I am in car manufacturing. I manufacture cars. But he is obviously not manufacturing cars himself as such. It is people who are in the assembly line who are assembling his parts and so on. So he is the agent, at the same time he is not the agent by his very physical body being there. So in the same way, Krishna is the agent, but not that he himself is making the creation by his own hands. So in that sense he says that he is not.
That's more clear.
One more question, please. I think the list of the definitions, Ashraya is meant to be the last definition, the last Lakshana. But it seems that that in the course of telling Bhagavatam, the Nirodha and the Mukti were skipped, and Ashraya was told in the 10th canto. What can be the explanation for that? That the Ashraya is not told on the end of the Bhagavatam, but shortly before.
Ashra is told even now. And it is not that Nirodha and Mukti is told only at that time, it is also in between.
So there is not a just very strict
There is no
segment
order like this. All the Vallabhacharya makes
Mm.
order like that. According to Vallabhacharya, that these are 10 topics. So in first and second, these 10 topics are not described. And from 3rd to 12, we have topics coming one by one. So then, of course, they may not be in order. But according to him, the Nirodha and Mukti, they are in 11th and 12th, and 10th is Ashraya, and Sarga will come in 3rd, 4th, and so on. And then there is Manvantara stories coming in the 4th. So he takes it like that. And Jiva Goswami says that it is not exactly, first of all, in the order. Secondly, he says that doesn't mean that the first and second are not part of Bhagavatam and not speaking about the 10 topics. Because you can see it, and they also talk. But something is more prominently defined in particular canto, and others are not given so much weight there. And then you can say, otherwise all topics are described in all cantos.
But still, there is more importance in one topic in each canto.
So in 10th canto, although it is talking about Ashraya, but there is also talk of Mukti, and also talk of Nirodha, killing, it's also talk of creation.